Hello, this is Sufyaan Aslam, and this is my second testing part, and I'm here in the standard Unity tab, not the build and run, like I was in part one, which you've already seen. And I had some problems with me. If I press username again and again and again, I wouldn't have any debugs showing me that the username already exists or the password already exists. But I fixed that now, and I'm going to show you. And I'm in this part and not the thingy, so I can show you simultaneously my credentials list. So I'm going to start it, and it should work. There we go. Username. Let's try Sufyan. No, let's forget Sufyan now. Forget me. That's right. User is watching. That'll be you. And the password would be, let's say, password 123. I spelled that wrong. Password 123. User is watching. Password 123. There. I can't really see in the bottom right corner that it's been debugged right here. And if I again press it again, yeah, see now I fixed it. The username user is watching already exists, yeah. So and I'm gonna show you. It should be my credentials. Let's close this. Close the store again. There we go. Users watching password 123. Forget these two, these were just testing from before. But this is from now. So I'm gonna go back and start again. But this time I'm going to not enter a password or username. So let's try use user and then try password. The user already exists. See, this is how I've had problem with this. I've not coded this password part, so that could be for my evaluation. But if I start again, this time let's enter uh, food and drink one. And before I press, I'm going to show you that it's not been saved here. These are my other ones. Before, if I close it again and show you again, it's not been saved. But if I click register, can't registered. Try it. Bah. Yeah, food three, drink one. Yeah. And now if I click go to login, it's taking me to second scene. Now if I type in a credential that's not already existed, so something that's not one of these three, it should not log me in. It should be so. Let's try. Oh, let's type in there. My bad. Doug. Incorrect credentials. You can see the bottom corner where my cursor is. It won't let me log in at the moment. So I'm gonna try um, a previous testing one from before I try food three drink one. So Sufyan Aslam. I'm gonna try Sufyan Aslam. Okay, log in. There we go. It's taking me to the scene menu. So I'm going to stop this again and start it. Just loading. If I type in, so you first you've been shown that it's it's not the latest credential that you stored, but it's all the ones that you've stored until if I delete this all, it won't work. So let's try that again. So if I make press don't save. So if I make a new one called, which one it was called, food three, how was it, drink one. I first register it registers it, but if I go into my register screen right here, it's already existing. And if I go to the login, yep, scene three. And if I go to credentials, food three, drink one already exists. Now, so it does keep, it does keep the, if you press don't save, it does keep your credentials and stores it for future purposes. So if you accidentally don't save it, it saves, which I've also coded, which could be slightly useful because sometimes I'm clumsy and I could accidentally just shut my PC off or click this and press delete this all somehow. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but I've done that. So I've coded like that. So if I try food three, drink one, it should theoretically log me in. Wow, there we go. And so logging in food three. So it logs in with your username. You can see obviously the password gets stored as behind the colons, but it logs in. It uses the debug the username. Yeah, so you can see food three, food three, food three. Yeah. So I could also, for testing purposes, I could code it that if I delete all this and close, I press don't save, that it actually does not save because I've overridden it so that when you, even if you says don't save, it still does save. I don't know. I've just wrote it like that, but um, I've also had some problems with my code. So I've been, I'm not going to lie, but I've also had some problems that if I press the username again and again and again and again, it would show that I hadn't have stored it, but I actually have had. So it stored it again and then again, but then if I enter username and the password, it wouldn't store it because the username password is here. But if I just enter username and just username and username, it's store it, store it, store it. So I fixed that now. I fixed that as you can see. So I'm in my play menu now. Just go to the next one and my options work. I could, my evaluation, my client didn't tell me to put any instructions, but I thought that if you wanted to, all you had to do is just put in TextBase Pro and just type in instructions for another client, maybe her, her or his, James or Hera's friends, other friends, if they want to play it. If they don't know how to play it, James doesn't know how to, but Hera is an enthusiast. So I've included it just in case. So, but because Hera didn't really want it, uh, but just in case she has friends who don't know how to play the game, that's just good. Add in instructions, so it's very useful. So I've included created the complex part. All she has to do is just add in text. Now quit. Hey, I'm back. It was trying to figure out how it worked, but then I realized because I am in the default C sharp. I mean not C sharp. The default Unity. It does not close the program. Take me to the home window screen. But um, I will show you that later on in another part. So if I press play, it should work. Yes, my slider. You can also go back, play again, go back, play again, go back, play again, go back, and you can only manually slide it. It can it's incremented by one, not decimals. What's called that? And if I press start, it should work. So here we have. When my user just follows me, you can see I'm spawning. I've also had some problems where that my health bar sometimes does not go down, but sometimes it automatically just does. And also highlight that you cannot walk through these walls. You see, I'm pushing down the arrow key, and it doesn't let me. So that's okay. My bullets shoot from the end of my gun towards the enemies. Also had some problems where the enemies often get stuck at these sliders, as you can see. Uh, I've also had I did my mouse cursor to be a crosshair where my bullet shoots into the direction of my crosshair, and I also had some problems, as you can see, with always one enemy spawning up there, and do not know how to really fix that. To be completely honest with you, as you can see, the game works really well. You can it's they spawn random waves. Either sometimes the enemy spawns at once. You can see here right here, the enemy spawns one at a time, or there we go. They can spawn immediately on you. CC right here. See two from spawn at the same time. So that's a wave. That's what I call wave. That's what's most fun about the game. Uh, I've added in my health bar and damage outputs to the bullets, but I cannot get it to work. And so in my evaluation, I could also put in my testing that I could look to be successful, but it didn't execute as I wanted it to. As damage outputs, I have assigned damage outputs to my game. So if I stop the game right now and go to project scenes game, and it's my game, and my player enemy should be damage outputs somewhere here. Oh, it should be on the bullets actually. My bad. My bullet prefabs. Here we go. Sorry, no sprite. There. Enemy bullet. There we go. And yeah, you can see I've assigned damage output to 5 player, nothing but game object. But I've also tested that if I put in the enemy as a player in here, um, it doesn't seem to work. As I've mentioned in my analysis and my design, I have used uh, A Star Pathfinding program online, which is the Nav Mesh Pro. So the traversal of the enemy is not mine. I'm repeating, the traversal enemy is not mine. It's something I've tweaked and included it into my game and not used everything of the A Star Pathfinding, but the main code itself, the components behind it it is not mine. So, and as you can see in the bottom corner here, I have added in a play enemy health bar. So I'm going to show you that right now. So if I go to enemy health, There we can see the two scripts here. You can see the box glider. You can see um, enemy. So let's go to enemy. There we go. You can see the shooting bullet AI destination setup, which is from pathfinding. AI path seeker box gliders. There we go. So if we go to enemy canvas, enemy health bar. Here we go. You can see that I have added in an enemy health bar. Let's go to my scenes. Zoom in all the way down here. You can see the enemy health bar right here. I can move if I want to, left, right, yeah. And you can see that it's the color multiply. Sorry, you can see that I have assigned also bullet damage output to my gun too. That it should be taking away damage, but this is set to 1, so maybe I should set this to just reset. Sorry. So it doesn't really work as I expected it to, which I'm quite disappointed. But I have also coded for my player to respawn. You can see that in my code. My player randomly, it really rarely occurs, but they just randomly die from all the bullets. I think it's because of my main enemy collision. But and they respawn randomly across the map, which is it does work. But I'm trying to figure. What I've got wrong, I've done wrong is the play value damage output, which is a real bummer to me. So yeah, that's my game. It's the scenes. You could see enemy spawner. So see the time interval 1.5 seconds. The enemy transform. Pathfinding, which is this is something I included in, so I'm not taking credit for. You can see this pathfinding from the A Star Pathfinding project. Crosshair, this crosshair sprite I've included in ordering lanes, sorting lanes, crosshair. The multiplayer map, yeah, the objects my player can't walk through. This is my player. I just rigid body 2D. His play movement script, speed of 2, rotation speed of 60, 600, and the screen border, which is 300. So the player cannot go past the screen border. I can test that right now. I can show you that. Just physically won't allow him to. Scale this up. There we go. See? And yeah, my play shoot sprays. You can see my bullet speed, bullet prefab, the time in between the shots, and you can see this is just code I did in again and again. So I've added it in the cloud. Yeah, here's my health controller. Here's my script, and it didn't really work. And I have one more um, prefab, which is which was something I was working on, which Hira or James did not, which Hira did not tell me to work on, and it was damage pop up, so that whenever I hit an enemy, the damage out pop up would appear from the end of my user's gun. and she didn't tell me to do that, but I was working on it, and I'm nearly there. I'm working on it, but I didn't include it in my final game because there was problems I had with it, which caused real amounts of problems for me. And sprites, here we go. My play bullet, you can see, has his own script, which is the bullet script, a capsule collider, and a rigid body 2D. So this is my game, and you can see if you just watch this enemy here, the game actually works. See the random spawn start spawning in, and yes, this is my game. Hope you enjoyed it. There's some problems you can see, and there's also some real good positives to my game. And my login details, all three of my scenes, which I can show you right now. Yeah, all four. Sorry, they work. And now I'm going to skip to the last part of showing you that my exit button works. Okay.